Hey guys, hey. Coming on to do the collective. Oh no. I don't typically read my cards in reverse unless I do that. Those kind of decks that show you the reverse and upright. Good God, these are all. No, what the heck? Okay, you might be obsessively thinking about someone who you've tried to have patience with, but it's not moving right now. It's at a standstill. But you view them as but you view them as your everything. This person might be pretty emotional. Is this a fucking love reading? Because I would say yes. Let's just see what we got. What's the collective? Oh no, that's too many. I don't need 12 cards. What's the collective needing to hear right now? Okay, so you're obviously obsessed and very in love with this person. This is for you, collective. The patience that you've tried to keep. So you're patient. I've been watching your socials, admiring your pictures. That's what you've had patience with, is spying. So you've been consistently spying. Okay, so the no movement and what you've been stuck on, I think, is that you should have fought for this person. You see them as your everything. You don't. So you're completely obsessed with this person. You stalk them from afar. This is my masculine collective, isn't it? You see them as kind of like you're happily ever after, but right now you're trying to work on yourself. This has got to be the masculine collective. So I love that I got called to do this one. Yes, and very much in your feels about that, you knew this was the one you were meant to be with. So you're clearly not together right now. So you're in separation with this person. You're very obsessed with them. You watch them from afar, which you've been patient at, very consistently doing for a long time. I think what is running through your head right now is that you should have fought for this person, and at the same time you're trying to work on yourself. Oh, you're probably trying to really get through a lot of your own work, your own shadow, in order to be worthy of making an offer. Because you really believe that this is your absolute person. This is who you're meant to be with. I'm gonna get the not so nice deck. Just see what happens. So when you did not fight for this person, because that's what's coming up for you there, and I think initially you might have blamed it on how you need to work on yourself, and it's like your trauma, that you might have told them that, it's not you, it's me kind of thing. But I think now that's reflecting on you, is that so okay, this is definitely the masculine collective. So initially, I think my guess is you ended it because now you're reflecting back on what you told this person. So you, I think what you told them is that it's not, you were taking very little accountability. Let's put it that way. You blamed a lot on your trauma, your own wounding, and I think you expected them to kind of bend to make you more comfortable, if that makes sense. I'm not trying to be a jerk to you. This is what it looks like. And you're really rolling around in your head that you didn't fight very, very much for this person. And so just from this part, it doesn't look like this person was like shitty to you, or like that they weren't a good partner or spouse or girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. Just because you're in the masculine collective does not mean that you're a male. I mean, you can, but you can also be a female, or however you identify, and be in the masculine collective. It's an energy. It doesn't mean male or female. So again, masculine community. I guess there's a reason I said that. I guess masculine collective. And this is, you've been spying on socials, admiring pictures, which is, again, you've been very persistent and patient with that, and you are seeing their glow up. And you're also really in your head about that you should have fought for this person. So I think you're looking back on your own actions and how you dealt with the separation, how you came at them with why, because it from this it looks like you left them and now you're in regret. Yeah, and one of the things that you're looking at, it looks like, is that when you were knowing that you should have fought harder, you seem to be they just were convenient for you when you felt like having them around. So they were an option for you. So you're in deep reflection. You're in deep reflection. I think that this has kind of prompted you into doing a lot of self-reflection, work, like shadow work, right? Looking at the things that you know that you need to change. That could mean things anywhere from addictions, making amends with people. Is it amends? Yes, amends with people that maybe you've hurt in the past, from some of your wounds that you projected onto other people, and probably how you handled past relationships or situations. And so this really has you in deep reflection of the way that you've handled a lot of relationships, not just this one. This one is heavily on your heart and mind, obviously, but because of this, it's put you into a reflection of looking at or reflecting on your past relationships and how you dealt with those. And from this, it doesn't look like you took a lot of accountability in how you dealt with your relationships. I think that you tended to blame it more on your own wounding or your trauma, or this is triggering me kind of thing. And I think that's how you came, that's how you presented to these people you were in relationships with, whether romantic or just friends or family. That can be across the board. But you knew this person. It's like you knew they were, the one for you, but you fought it, and then you found a way to get out of it. Basically, used it looks like, and I'm sure it's because it was terrifying, so you go back to what your typical patterns, which were not necessarily healthy patterns, and then that's how you chose your actions from your past. I'm trying not to be mean. I'm just you had some pretty toxic ways of dealing with others in relationships. You weren't taking a ton of accountability. You blamed it on, maybe you had a really hard upbringing. Maybe you had really a lot of disappointment and heartbreak in love and family, friends, any type of relationships. And you kind of use that as a shield almost, it looks like, to push this person that you loved so much away. And I think maybe one of the things that's really sticking out for you is this person hasn't come back around this time to you. So you may have gone on cycles with this person. Maybe it doesn't look like you just had like one breakup. It looks like you've had at least a couple. And you were always able to get the person back, but now what's probably spun you out is that they aren't coming back this time. And you're kind of what worked before is not working anymore, and that's probably another thing that's put you into this deep reflection, which is great, because that's a place that you can not just make changes for yourself, but really kind of step into more healthy ways of dealing with relationships and conflict and turbulence in general, rather than blaming and then running. This is really putting you into strength rather than fear. I have to say, I'm being pretty nice about this. I'm quite proud. It's hard not just to be like, damn. But really, I think it's great that you're really being open enough to look at all this, because this is never easy, and especially, and it's hard to look at yourself and be like, okay, well, I didn't handle that great. I need to make some changes. That's never like an easy place to be. So when you realize that you have a lot of work to do, so looking at it, you're doing a really, really great job. You're being really brave about this, because you are willing to look at your shit, basically. And that, I mean, people go through lifetimes never willing to do that, Yeah. The fact that you are not with this person is a real burden for you. And I think, again, you are, their kind of glow up, them not coming back, them kind of moving away from what you always knew, like depended on from them, has really put you into the self-reflection. You're really being, you have a lot of introspection happening. Did I say that word right? Introspection. Yeah, I think that's right. So you're really looking at yourself. And I think that it's kind of given you a new passion almost for this person, for sure, but also for looking at the things that you've always hidden, the things that you never wanted to look at, because it was, terrifying to look at that face on, and yeah, looking at the things that you've been hiding and avoiding. And I think that you are now in this space where you're willing to do that. Oh, Lovers at the bottom of the deck. So I think that's, oh shit. So you do view this person as your soulmate, your person that you're meant to be with. But it looks like you guys have been through some shit. And I think you know that if you try to win this person back, you will have to do it authentically. Because one, it's going to be a challenge to win them back in the first place. And two, you feel a little bit hopeless about that. It looks like you don't feel like there's much of a chance there. And that might be because some of your, I'm going to just say it this way, some of your little tricks that used to work are not working now. You know, if you love bombing, things like that are not, that's confirmation. That was a dog toy. So, it's not, what worked before is not working now. And so now you're having to you're being forced into growing. Because this person is who you view as forever. And so in order to win their heart, or even a chance to possibly win their heart, you have to work on yourself. And it really looks like you are really trying. That's awesome. Because that is not easy. It really isn't. But you are sure trying, and that's awesome. Good for you. We need more of the masculine to be stepping up and willing to look at their shit. You know, the feminines are just blasting through work. And we need the masculines to be doing that as well. And this collective is doing it. You're willing to look at the hard, ugly stuff right now, and you know this person is the one you're supposed to be with. You just see him as your one and only. And I think this whole experience has just made you realize that. It looks like you've always, sort of it looks like you've always sort of carried them with you, and that you've always known you view them as your soulmate, and that's double confirmation. So, but now it's time for you to keep doing your own work so that you're worthy of this person. Because honestly, they look like they've got their shit together. They're awesome. They're in the middle of a glow up. You're noticing that because you're spying, and you can see that they're leveling up. And in order to even be near worthy to make an offer, you've got to do the same. And that means looking at the stuff that's held you back. Oh, look at that apology on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, and I think the way that you feel connected to this person is like, I don't think you can explain it. You just know that that this is like your person. And I think the fact that you're again, I'm going to say it like this, your little tricks that worked before aren't working anymore really put you into the reflection enough that you realized you were not seeing this clearly, and now you are. Well, I am proud of this collective. This is hard work, and you're doing great. And you see this person as when you have done enough work and you have made enough peace with your trauma and the things that were done in the past that weren't necessarily fair to you, but you still have to heal the wound anyway, right? when you get to the point of where you are in living in more of your authentic self and you are being accountable for yourself and your actions and your choices, you will be able to make an absolutely just incredible offer to this person. And you'll be able to back it up because you'll have done your work. I mean, we're never fucking done, right? We're always working on some shit, but you're gonna have done enough of the work that ended up destroying what you had with this person so that repair is possible. But you've got to do your work, or you have nothing actually to offer this person except an empty cup again, which you've done before. And they're not going to fall for it this time. The feminines are getting stronger. So you have to come correct. And I got to say, you are working on it. And if you can really dive into this and look at your own shit and be accountable to it, you're going to have a hell of a chance to be able to repair this and get exactly what you want and what they want. And you will be the type of person you've always dreamt of being. And you will be worthy of giving them the type of person that they are absolutely deserving of. So I wish you luck on this, and I really hope you keep going, because the more masculines that dive into their work, you will start a ripple effect and you'll help so many other masculines, because you'll lead the way. Because we are, in our world right now, we are in a huge transition point. And we need all the people we can get that are reaching for the light. And that, a big part of that is diving into your dark. That's how you get to it. So you can let it go and it's not dragging you down anymore. So keep going. Keep diving into this. Become worthy of the person that you seek, because they are glowing. What is that saying that if for whoever craves the rose, it's like you have to be willing to deal with the thorns. So it's I'm sure I said that wrong and butchered it, but the point is, if you crave something of that beauty, you have to be willing to go through the trials of getting to it. And with this collective, this is about reflection and diving into the stuff you've never wanted to look at and you're trying to run away from, so that you can make peace with it and let it go, and being accountable to the things that you've done and the choices you've made. There's power in that. So stand up and be powerful, because that's part of the masculine energy. And then you'll be locked in and you'll be going for it. And once you're locked in, once you're to a place that you can hold your head up high and be like, I don't know, I've been through some trials. I know what I want. You're gonna be pretty hard to say no to, but you better get through the work, so you have a full cup to offer, not an empty one. Okay, I wish you luck. Keep going. Pave the way for the masculines coming behind you. Good job. Keep going. I'll see you later.